I want to say good evening to everyone that is watching live on Facebook and whatever other means that you're watching this live interview this afternoon. My special guest this afternoon is Sister Faye Foster Burdette. And this afternoon, we're going to hear a whole lot of good stuff because it relates to our children. And children is a very vital part of our community. And today, or this afternoon, we're going to talk about that and the position that she holds relate to her job and the things that she do on her job and how do it benefit our community. But before we get into this interview, we're going to give Sister Faye the opportunity to introduce herself and tell not only myself, but to the community and to the one that watching live on Facebook. Sister Faye, please give us an introduction and we will start the interview.
Hello, as Mr. Bell stated, I am Faye Burdette. I am the Center Director for the Lineville Head Start Center, located in Lineville, Alabama. And I'm so excited to be here with Mr. Bell and his agency or service to talk to you guys about the services we provide to children and their families for Head Start.
Amen. Thank you, Sister Faye, for giving that brief introduction. But I know you could have gave me a longer introduction, but that's to the point, and I appreciate that. But before we kind of get into it, I want to talk about a little bit about some of your schooling because I know you. When I first met you, you used to live in another state before you
Chicago.
came back to a little place. So let's talk about what is some of the stuff you do in Chicago when you stay in Chicago on job related.
Okay, well, when I was in Chicago, I was there doing my 8th grade through 12th grade year. So I was there living with my aunt as a request from my grandmother when she passed away for her to take me, from Alabama to give me something different, a different state, a different scenery. So I was there in school, enrolled, very active in school, lots of sports, volleyball, softball, just doing what normal teenagers do, having a lot of fun, but staying safe at the same time. I was there for many years, about 10, 12 years maybe. And then when my mother got ill, I made my way back toward Alabama to come home and be near her. And when she passed away, I just made my home here and I've been here ever since. But Chicago is a great place to stay, but there's no place like Alabama.
I agree with that. There's no place like Alabama.
Yes.
Many times I have traveled, I always want to come back to a little small town, Roanoke, Alabama. It's nice
That's
to go
right.
and visit and vacation in bigger cities, but I want to come back down south. But and also, I kind of have been watching you and listening to you. You are a intelligent young lady,
Thank you.
and you didn't share with me. Have you been to a university or a college or just your regular 12 years?
I have graduated from high school in Chicago, moved back home as I stated, went to Gaston State University where I received my associates, CDA / short certificate, and then my associates in early childhood child development. January of 2022, I will enter my final semester at Grand Canyon University to acquire my bachelor's degree in early childhood, then on to my master's. So I have all my ducks in a row. I have everything planned. I'm ready.
You know that is so wonderful. I was not going to let you get away without sharing that with me and also with the audience.
Well, thank you.
Because the way you speak, the way you present yourself, I knew that you were higher than 12th grade.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your position and what you do in Lineville, Alabama, I believe.
Yes, Clay County, Lineville, Alabama.
So let's talk about your title again. We're gonna move forward. Tell me about the title that you hold on this job and what do it consist of?
At the Lineville Head Start Center, Clay County, I am the center director where I oversee all the procedures, the productions, and all the daily interactions of the center. I'm responsible from every aspect, from the time the children get there to the time they make their departure to go home. We try to make sure, we keep them safe, of course, and we offer an amazing curriculum for all of our children to make sure they are ready for the transition to the elementary schools. Okay. So once they leave us, they're far, far, far ready for that transition for the elementary schools.
Great. Could you just go in some details of the curriculum that y'all have scheduled? Just kind of go in some details about it, please.
So we serve, well, let me just tell you a little brief background about the Head Start program. It started back in 1965 under the presidency of Lyndon B. Johnson. And it was supposed to be just a 6 to 8 week pilot program just to see if there was a need for Head Start services in the community. And the need was so massive. Here we are now into our 50, I think we just celebrated our 56th birthday with Head Start. So we know that the need was there, so we continued on with the service. And at the Lineville Head Start Center, all of our centers, we now serve over 700 children via 14 centers and 5 counties. And one of those counties being where I presently work is, like I said, Clay County. And we also have a center right here in Randolph County where those services are offered as well. It's going to be the Peachtree Head Start Center. It was commonly known as the Big Yellow House on Main Street. Well, that yellow house has now become the Blue House. And then they transitioned over to Peachtree Street, where Miss Beverly Green is the Head Start Center at the Peachtree site. So we're just here in the community trying to get the name out there even more so, and let everyone know about the amazing services that we offer for children from ages 6 weeks to 5 years. So when they come to us, be ready, because we're going to have them so ready for the elementary schools when we get them.
Okay, great. Is there a certain number that y'all can take in at one center? Is there a certain number that you can take in at one center?
Well, sure, it just depends on the center and the spacing. Like, for example, at the Lineville site where I'm the director, we have 41 children with 3 classrooms. One classroom is the early classroom, which is 6 weeks to the age of 3. And that classroom only holds 8 children. And then we have the Head Start classroom where it holds 15 children, and the pre-K, which holds 18, which gives us 41. Different centers depending on their space, because each child has to have so much indoor and outdoor space. We're allotted a particular number per center. So at the Lineville site, we only have 41. I think at Beverly Center, they have, I want to say 30.
Okay. So how many teachers or aides do you have to have with that amount of students?
In each classroom, there's always 2 teachers. It just depends on the number of children. To meet ratio, Head Start always goes above and beyond whatever the state requires. So for us, the numbers are, we have, for example, 15 children with 2 teachers in each classroom. And in the early classroom, the one that's 6 weeks to 3 years, there's also 2 teachers. Each classroom always has 2 teachers.
Right. You know, it's so important that we develop our children.
Absolutely.
You know, the Bible teaches us, the Bible said that the parent must play a great role with their children.
Absolutely. I'm glad you spoke on that, because parents are their child's first teacher. They're their first educator. We're here to enhance whatever they've started. So when they get to us, we hopefully have, we take what the parent has already molded into their children, and we just build on that and just take them a little bit further. We meet them where they are and just take them higher. And as you said, the parents are their child's first educator, that first teacher. So we depend heavily on the parents to have those kids somewhat ready when they get to us, but no worries if you don't. We'll take it from there. You just get them to us and we'll take them the rest of the way.
That's wonderful. Kind of tell me when COVID hit, which we are still in COVID.
Absolutely.
It's not going nowhere no time soon. Like it's slack up, but there's another variant comes and punches in. You know, it just continues. But how did that take effect? What changes did y'all made dealing with children in the COVID season? Okay,
so when COVID came, for everyone, it was fast, it was immediate. So we had to do what everyone else had to do, even in the local public school system. We had to make changes and make them fast to be able to serve our families. So what we did was utilize some of the things we already had in place, like we had the Facebook page, as well as what we call the Learning Genie. So we sent work to our parents on those platforms and tried to keep engaged with them that way. We still provided meals 5 days a week to our families. For those who weren't able to come to the center to get those meals, we took them to those parents. And we just did whatever we could to help in our early classroom, people who needed diapers, formula, whatever we could do to assist the families during that transition period. It was just, we were just there hands-on in the centers, ready to do whatever. And we did just that. We serviced all of our families, even during the COVID era, and it's still here, and we're still making amends because, with COVID, everything is so fluid. You never know what it's going to be from one day to the next. So we just make changes as we go. If something doesn't work, we just go back to the drawing board, try another method until we get something that works. We're here for our families through it all. So come what may, all the strains of COVID or whatever may come next, we're here to still service our families via any means that we can.
Okay. So, Faye, how long have you been in that position that you're in now?
I've been with Head Start now. This is going into year 15. And I've been a center director. This is year, I think, 6. But I've held so many jobs since I've started. It's just another way to let parents know and young people that you can do whatever you desire to do. Because I came into the program as just a teacher's aide. I was just there assisting in the classroom, doing what I could do. And I said, I want to do more. So I went to school, got my credential, became a teacher. I did that for about 5 years. Then I wanted to service more along the lines of working with the families and their children. So I went and became a family services worker. And then I wanted to do a little bit more. So I became a coach and I assisted coaching the teachers. And then I wanted to be more in a leadership role, showing other teachers what to do and how to make those advancements. So I became a center director, which is what I am now. I'm in year 15 as a center director. So.
Okay. Before you moved to Liable to that position, what position did you have in Randolph County before you left Randolph County?
Right. When I started here in 2007, as I said, I was just a teacher's aide. Well, we call it just a teacher. I was a teacher in the classroom. And I did that for, I think it's about 5 years here in Randolph County. And then as more positions opened up elsewhere, sometimes you got to leave that comfort zone. And I had to step out a little bit, and I did that. So when other positions availed themselves, I applied for them, and I was granted those positions based on my skills and my credentials. So I kind of moved up the ladder to where I am now, and I plan on continuing forward. I'm not done.
Great. That is wonderful. When we were young, and I am older than you are, see, it was programmed out there, but not like they are now. Most of the time, grandmama and some family member keep the little baby boy, the little baby girl, and that was good at that time.
Right.
But to develop a child, this is what I believe, develop a child and get a child more excited and out there with the world, he needs to be around other children.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We tell parents all the time, some are coming to the center, go through the application process, and they'll decide, well, my baby cried the first day, so I don't think I'm going to bring them back. And I have to talk to them and let them know they have to give them time to adjust. Just like grown-ups, we need time to adjust when we go into anything new, any new environment. So I try to bargain with them and let them know, just give them a few days, give those kids time to get into that routine. And they're going to get that continuity of care. They're going to see the same people every day, go about the same classroom routine. And you give them a week or so, and those kids are in there like a well-oiled machine. They don't cry anymore. And there's no need to worry. You just have to give them time to adjust, because kids need that social and emotional interaction with other kids their age. They need that. Oh, they need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you know what? We have to raise up new leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And you start out with them while they're real young as babies.
Absolutely.
And instill in them while they're young, because as I said, we getting older. And
absolutely.
We need some young blood to come up and take our place. And we got to start training them while they're young.
Yes.
And when they get at the age of take over, they already trained.
I agree wholeheartedly. That's very well stated.
Sometimes when we fail, we wait till they get old and try to train them. It's hard to train an old man. Train a child while they're young, while they're
that's right.
once they get old, you can't bend them.
That's right.
We done lost them.
I agree with you.
I
It starts with us.
thank
Head
God.
Start
I
works.
thank God. I thank God that I was trained as a little boy, 60 years ago, because I'm 60 years old now. And I thank God for them parents and community folk that took time out and instilled in me some stuff that I needed, because I'm not developed by myself. You are not developed by yourself. That take others to help develop you.
It does. It does. As
And
the
we
old
got to do the
saying
same
goes.
thing.
I agree. As the old saying goes, it takes a village, and it truly does take a village, because even in the Head Start families, we're seeing now where times have changed and children have changed as well. We see a lot of grandparents and great grandparents being that primary caregiver for kids. Now we see the parents as well, but more and more so, we're beginning to see that a lot of great grandparents are raising their children now. So you just have to just deal with that and accept the fact that things are just changing. They're just changing.
Mhm. And about to train up a child in the way he should go.
And they will not
And
depart from it.
when he get old, he won't depart from it. It didn't say he went straight. We all straight. But we didn't depart from it. We straight, but we came back. But if you ain't trained them, they ain't got nothing to hold them to bring them back.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Miss Faye, I thank you so much for giving me some time out your busy schedule. And I want to say happy anniversary, your first anniversary, correct?
No, sir. It's year 3. It's year 3.
Year three. Okay, year 3. Happy
Yes, sir.
anniversary, 3 years. That's great. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I didn't see
It's good to see you as well. And thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Allowing me the opportunity to be on your platform to get the message out to the media. I mean, you guys come on, join Head Start. We got a center right here in Randolph County over on Peachtree Street. If you're near Clay County, come on over there as well. And we are hiring, tcr.org, careers.
Okay. So you're hiring for aides?
We're hiring for everything from teachers, the cooks, family advocates, everything. You have to be 18 years of age. Go on the page, tcr.org, tcrchildcare.org, go down to careers. And once you submit your application, just call the center nearest you, let the center director know that you've applied, and we're doing immediate interviews.
Amen. Now,
Yes.
everybody that watch this live, I want y'all to share this page out. Share it.
Yes.
If you had to go back in the archives and watch it again, but please share that page out, because Sister Faye Foster Burdette gave us some good information this afternoon. And
Yes.
again, thank you, Sister Burdette.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Mr. Bell.
And before I close out, is there any last words you'd like to share with the audience?
You guys just remember that you are your child's first educator. Head Start has been here. We're celebrating, I think that's our 56th year. We're here to stay. COVID, it doesn't scare us. You're going to follow the mandates, but issued by the Office of Head Start. We're going to keep your kids safe. And we're here for you. Anything we can do with any of our centers, we have 14 via 5 counties. Just call the center nearest you. And remember that we are hiring and you're your child's first educator.
Amen. Thank you again. And this broadcast and this interview was brought by Bell's Video and All of Your Services podcast. So, Sister Faye, you stay blessed and stay safe.
You as well. Thank you.